Hello, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, it's a bit of a different one, slightly more interesting I think, and I have gone ahead and broken my kind of makeup buying rule that I've got going on. If you watched my makeup wish list video, you know I did mention that I'd slightly broken my makeup rule that I've got going on when it comes to buying new makeup. But I saw, and it popped up on Instagram for me, this website, as like an ad, and I was kind of like intrigued by it. So the website is called Boop Beauty. I don't know if anyone's heard of it. It was kind of the first time I've heard of it anyway. And basically they have a whole bunch of products on there from different brands that were going to go to landfill. So products that maybe had blemishes on the packaging or some kind of marking on the packaging, stuff that may have been overproduced, products that have been discontinued or been reformulated, so the brands were originally just going to chuck them out. This website, or I think it's Yasmin's her name, behind this website. So yeah, she's reached out to these brands to see if they want to work together and to prevent these products going from landfill. So then you've got Boop Beauty, it doesn't have all brands on there, and it obviously doesn't have all products from those brands. But it have a mixture of things, and they'll be super discounted as well. I'll quickly read out actually what was on the website so it's a bit more clearer. But yeah, so called Boop Beauty. So your ultimate destination for premium beauty and wellness products that are too good to go. In the beauty industry, product waste has always been an issue, with countless perfect products destroyed each year. Why? Sometimes the product doesn't look perfect on the outside, other times brands have overproduced, discontinued items or reformulated them. Poor forecasting and inefficient supply chains also contribute to this waste. So our founder, Yasmin, spent years in the beauty industry and saw the need for an outlet for luxury brands to channel those items into. That's why Boop was created, to get more amazing products into your hands and keep them out of the landfill, all while offering you the best prices. We rigorously quality check each item to ensure you only receive products that are safe to use and deliver results. All products must pass our Boop QC check when you shop at Boop. You can rest assured we've verified the integrity of each product, its suitable shelf life, and all the relevant seals are intact. So yeah, I saw it and I thought it was quite an interesting concept. And they say premium brands on here, but they have got like drugstore brands as well, I've noticed. So let's actually go with brands. So there's Revolution on here, and I want to say there was Rimmel on here. So I'll give you some of the lists of brands that have. I say Anastasia Beverly Hills, Antipods, Aromatherapy Associates, Benefit, Charlotte Tilbury, Ciate, Clarins, Dr. Brandt, Estee Lauder, Gucci, Huda Beauty, Iconic London, East Eldridge, Lottie, Max Factor, Nude by Nature, OPI, Revlon, Revolution, Rimmel, Ted Baker, Urban Decay, Valentino, and Versace. There's loads more brands on there. So it really ranges from like drugstore brands to super high-end brands. There's definitely a mix of cruelty-free and non-cruelty-free brands on there. And there's a couple clean beauty brands on there. So depending on what your preference is with what you use, obviously for me, everything needs to be cruelty-free. And I do like playing with clean beauty makeup as well. There are a few brands on there for me to try. So I thought it'd be interesting, and actually when I saw this website being advertised, it was actually being advertised with a brand I hadn't heard of before. I might have heard of it before, but I've never tried before, called Nude by Nature, which is an Australian brand, and it's cruelty free, I believe it's vegan, and I think they do claim to be clean as well. So I was just kind of intrigued. I went on there to see what it was like. Mainly lip products I picked up for some reason, and one eyeshadow palette, but I thought it was quite an interesting concept, so I did break my makeup rule and purchase a few things, but they were very much discounted. So like, for example, I've got a lip gloss here, and I believe this should have been around £12 mark, but it was like £4.55 or £4.95. A lot of lip products were like that. They were pretty much like £5, and then the eyeshadow palette was £10 when it should have been, I can't remember off the top of my head. So yeah, I was intrigued, I got hooked, and I bought some products. So I just thought we'd do a little video today. I'll play with the eyeshadow, do a look, and then I'm just going to swatch all the lip products. And I will do a bit of a wear test with one of them as well, just so we can see what it's like. So not only is the website new to me, like I said, if you've heard of it, let me know, but this brand is also new to me as well, so a bit of fun. So quite a long intro, I know, and apologies, but if that sounds like something interesting, then please keep on watching. So I'll quickly go through all the products that I got. So all of these, I think, when I looked at the website, because when you look at the product, it'll state at the bottom what the reason for, and I think these are all just like excessive and overproduced products. None of these were like marked or being discontinued as far as I'm aware. They do all come with like tester sticker on them, so that's good to know, but everything else is pristine. So this was the only eyeshadow palette they had on there. This is called their Rose palette. So very pretty, obviously very limited what you can do, but a very pretty like everyday eyeshadow palette. It does come with a little brush as well. Two of their lip liners. I got one in Rose and then one in, what's this, was Coral? Yeah, Coral. I got one of their Sheer Glow Colour Balms in pink, which I can't actually get the lid off right now. I'll try and get off them when we come to test those. Then I did get 3 of their liquid lipsticks, which is very weird for me because obviously I'm not a liquid lipstick person. These are satin ones, so I thought they might be quite comfortable, and I was just intrigued. So it'll be one of these I'll use for a wear test, but I'll swatch them all anyway. So I've got the shade Soft Petal, pretty pink. We've got Wisteria, which is a bit more of a mauvey tone, and then we've also got Sienna, which is a bit more of a burnt orange look. And then finally I did get a lip gloss, and this is in the shade Dusk. So very pretty. They did have a few face products on there as well. I just decided to go for the lip options. Like I said, you are limited to the shade range, so on some of these products there was only one shade available, on some there are a few more, but you know, it's based off what she gets in from the brand. Okay, we're going to start off with the eyeshadow palette, and I'm just going to quickly prep and prime my eyes with Lily Lolo's eye primer as always. Like I said, there's not going to be too much variation I could do with this palette because it's 3 shades, but I can imagine for an everyday look this is going to be quite pretty. So I'm going to start off with a nice fluffy brush. This is Bdellium Tools 785. These aren't named, these shades, there's just 1, 2, 3. I'm going to start off with the shade 2, and I'm just going to dust this all over the lid and into the crease. So we'll see what this is like. Very soft shadow. These all do have a bit of sheen to them, so they're not fully matte, but they're also not shimmered. So yeah, it's more of a wash of a peachy shade or a rosy shade across the lid there. So if you're any deeper than my skin tone, you're not going to really see that shade. I think this was only eyeshadow palette available when I looked. Actually, do you know, I'm going to take a slightly smaller brush, denser brush. This is a blank canvas E10. I'm going to pick up the same shade, just see if I can deepen up the crease a little bit. A little bit, but I don't think it's made too much of a difference. Yeah, very soft, rosy shade. Okay, now I do want a denser brush, so we're going to go with Sigma. The name's rubbed off this one. I do have another one somewhere. No, but a kind of classic crease brush from Sigma. We'll go in with shade 3, which is the darker brown. And we'll pop this on the outer portion. Oh yeah, that's a bit better. Actually, this is quite a nice palette if you're someone who doesn't like to wear a lot of eyeshadow and keep it simple. I think it's really pretty for going to a wedding as well. Okay, and then I'm just going to take the little blank canvas brush, just soften these edges slightly. Although it's pretty much blended into the other shade quite nicely anyway. And then I'm going to take my finger and we're going with shade 1, which looks quite white on the camera, but it's a bit more of a pearlescent pink colour in real life is what I call it. Like I said, none of these are shimmer and none of these are matte, they've got a bit of a sheen to them. Let's actually just see if that's quite pretty, but let me just see if I put a bit more eye primer down, whether it would give me a bit more of a pop with that shade. Again, I still think finger probably works the best. It's giving it a little bit more brightness. But nothing heavy. Yeah, I'd say the sheen's popping a little bit more on this side than this side, but again, no overall difference as such. Okay, I'm just going to take a brush and just take that pearlescent colour in the inner corner as well. So yeah, that's the eyeshadow palette. Very soft, very pretty. Like I said, you're not going to get too much variation out of that in terms of looks you can do, but for an everyday look, I think it's soft. The shadow's performed well. Like I said, I think if you're much deeper than me, some of the the rosy shade won't necessarily show up, I don't think. But yeah, overall quite a pretty palette. I'm just going to load up my lashes with some mascara quickly. There's the eyes done. So we're moving on to lips. We're going to do a bit of swatching session now. I'm actually going to start off with, I think, the I'll start off with the Sheer Glow Colour Balm in pink. So I imagine it's going to be similar to my Kosas one that I've got, where it's just like a nice sheer wash. Let me just take off. I've just got a bit of lip balm on, that's it. So I'll just take that off. So yes, shade pink. Oh, I like that. But yeah, it does remind me very much of my Kosas, like kind of lip balm. Not quite as like oily feeling, but very comfortable. But yeah, that's a nice like everyday kind of product. So yeah, that is lovely. Let's do the lip liners. Let's go with Coral first. Slightly more of the I'd say it's slightly more of the summery tone out of the two. Let's just go over my lips slightly with eye primer, just to dull down the colour a little bit. So these are sharpable ones. I know not everyone likes those. I quite like sharpable lip liners. Okay, that's the shade Coral, a very lovely colour. This is going to be nice for like a nude lip for the summer with a peachy tone. Yeah, so it's a sharpable pencil, this one. It's not super matte, so it's hard to like draw on. It's very pigmented easy, but it's not super creamy either, so you're not going to get slip and slide. I'm very comfortable on the lips. But yeah, that's the shade Coral. Like I said, that's going to be a lovely one for summer actually, so I imagine I'll get a lot of use out of that one. Again, the next one was the shade Rose, so I imagine formula wise it's going to be just as lovely, but let's just see what the colour's like. Okay, that is the shade Rose. Again, very, very pretty. I think actually you could wear this in the summer quite nicely. It reminds me, the shade reminds me of the Benacos lip liner I've got in brown, because it's kind of a bit of a rosy brown tone. But very pretty. And yeah, formula's just the same. It's a nice kind of soft texture where you can move it easily around the lips and fill in, but not super creamy, it's going to slip and slide. And yeah, it gives great colour. So yeah, okay, I like the 2 lip liners I picked up. Okay, I'll do the lip gloss next, and then I'll finish on the satin lips, and then I can pick one to kind of wear and see how it wears throughout the day. So this is the lip gloss in Dusk. So that's the shade Dusk. It's quite a nice light pigmented lip gloss. So if you want it to wear it by itself, it's just going to give it a little bit of a hint of colour. But nice and shiny, nice and glossy. There's a little bit of stickiness, not anything too crazy. And I'm purposely not wearing them. You could easily pair this with any of the lip liners actually and pop it on top, I think. And it worked quite nicely. But by itself is also very pretty. So again, just for an everyday look, you want to pop a bit of gloss on. I think this gives enough pigmentation. You could wear it by itself. But also you could wear it with other colours and other lip products without it changing the colour too much as well. Okay, that's the lip gloss, very nice. Okay, so I think out of these I want to wear Soft Petal throughout the day. So I'm going to start off with Sienna first, I think, which is like the gorgeous like burnt orange. So this will be interesting to see. These, like I said, these are more satin liquid lipsticks. They're not going to dry completely matte, which I think is a good thing. Sort of see. Definitely going to need a close-up mirror for this. Yeah, definitely more of that burnt orange, so a bit more of like I call it an autumn toned orange, this one. Very pigmented. I didn't actually have to dip back in there to do the whole lips, which is good. I'd say the doe foot is just about thin enough where you can outline your lips. I think I did mess up slightly, so you may want to go with a lip liner first. But in terms of how they dry down, obviously I won't know with this shade, I'll wait till we get to Soft Petal. But this is what the shade looks like. Like I said, very pretty, but I think it's more of an autumn orange shade. But still, very, very pretty. Right now it feels very comfortable on the lips. Because it's not going to dry down matte because it's a satin, which tends to be a bit more comfortable, so we'll just have to see. So that is Sienna. A little bit of staining on the lips. So I imagine if you did put a lip line underneath, the colour would last or fade quite nicely. I'm going to test it today without a lip liner underneath when I do the wear test, but let's go with Wisteria next, which kind of looks like the more mauvey tone. Kind of. I'm going to go need a mirror. Oh yeah, definitely more a mauvey tone. So that is Wisteria. I feel like on camera on the screen I can see it's coming out a little bit more orange tone where it is a bit more pinky or mauve, but the sun's quite bright at the moment, so I'm like, actually it's not doing too bad. I wish I filmed it all now in the sunlight. But yeah, again, the doe foot actually picks up a real good amount of product, I think, with this, so it's not too much, but it's definitely enough to cover the whole of the lips. Like I said, you either want to go with a lip liner or you might just want to tidy up afterwards to get a real sharp lip liner, but it's not too bad. But again, that's a very pretty colour. Okay, and I probably will do a bit of a neaten up of this one because I'm going to be wearing this a bit throughout the day. just take a bit of hopefully I've tidied up my actual lips as much as I can. So final one is Soft Petal. So let's go in with this. And that is Soft Petal. That's a really pretty shade and actually goes with the eyes very nicely. So again, didn't have to dunk back in. Relatively easy to get a lip line, but I will neaten up slightly, I think. But a really pretty colour. Really pretty for an everyday colour, actually. Again, feels very comfortable on the lips at the moment. So what I'm going to do is just quickly take a little brush. I'm going to use my eye primer. Just got to find eye primers. I think sometimes doing concealers is a bit too heavy for neatening up, so just a bit of an eye primer. Okay, so this is the one I'm going to wear throughout the day. We'll just see how well it lasts and wears throughout the day. Obviously I haven't put a lip line underneath. It could be one that maybe would work quite well, so that when it starts to fade, like when you eat and drink, there's still a bit of colour left. Although when I took off the other two shades, it did leave a stain anyway, so we might be lucky there. It so far feels very comfortable. I'm trying to think what the formula reminds me of. I don't know, but no, it's very comfortable, very creamy on the lips. This is a really, really pretty shade actually. I like this a lot. So I will wear this throughout the day. I'll come back and do some regular check-ins just to see what we can do. So time is 11:15. I need to now go help Jamie in the garage and tidy up the garage a bit. So yeah, we'll just see how well it wears. So yeah, I was just intrigued by this website, and then obviously this was the brand it was featuring, which happened to be cruelty free and apparently clean as well. So I thought let's try a new brand at the same time. And so far I've been very impressed. The eyes are really pretty and soft. Unfortunately the packaging, you do get fingerprints all over it. And I've enjoyed, I know I've only quickly swatched the lip products, but they seem like nice formulas, nice colours, good pigmentation. So we'll see how well this lasts throughout the day, like I said. And if there's any other products you want a bit more in-depth look at, or you want me to incorporate them into a certain look, let me know as well. But we'll come back in a bit. I'll come like a couple of hours or so, probably just before lunch, so we can see how it looks, and then I'll come back after lunch and we'll see how well the lips held up. But so far, I quite like these products I've tried, but we'll just see how well the satin liquid lipsticks last throughout the day. I thought I'd do a quick check-in before lunch, so it's 1:45 now. Colour's still very much there. I did have a drink, and you can see it's not transfer proof, but the colour has very much stayed. So the real creamy texture I had at the beginning has definitely kind of disappeared, but it's not matte or drying like a regular liquid lipstick is. It's still very comfortable on the lips. It's got more of like a regular lipstick texture now, which is nice, but the colour is still very much there. I still think they're really pretty. So yeah, I'll come back after lunch and we'll just see how that's affected the colour. So yeah, but so far, so good. And actually, do you know what? The more I look in the eyes, the more I really like the eyes. So are nice and soft and simple. But yeah, I'm back after lunch. We'll see how well it's held up with food. It's not too much later, but I've had lunch. It's 2:20. Let's have a little look. Okay, colour is starting to fade a little bit in the centre, but I think it still looks good. Like there's still enough colour there for it to be wearable throughout the day. So I'm happy with that. I think, yeah, just a little bit right from the centre's come off. Apart from that, all good. So what I'll do is I'll do one more check-in, but much later in the day, kind of before I take makeup off. But so far so good. The final check-in of the day is 5:10 now. I'd say the colour's pretty much gone. It's left some kind of staining, so I think if I put like a lip liner underneath, this could work quite well. But I think it lasted reasonably well. And yeah, I mean, I've enjoyed everything that I played with. Like I said, I didn't play it for that long, so if there's anything you want to see more in depth, let me know, and of course I'll play with these like throughout different looks and stuff. I actually really like the eyeshadow palette. I'm kind of intrigued to see actually how creative could I get with it. With just 3 shades, how many looks could I do with it? I don't know, but really nice. I've enjoyed the lip products. So yeah, so I really hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, it was more to originally just to kind of explore this new website that I found. But let me know if you've heard of Beauty Beauty. I just thought it was quite a cool concept. And yeah, this is also a brand, Nude by Nature is also a brand I've never tried before. So I was intrigued both ways. So let me know your thoughts down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.